Hello, everybody. Welcome to IGN Plays Live. My name is Max Scoville, and I'm joined by Mitchell Saltzman, and we are playing Yakuza 6 Song of Life, or Yakuza 6 Song of Life, depending on how you pronounce it.
Actually, I think your first attempt there was actually very good.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're really going to be, specific about it, it should be Like a Dragon, or
Yes.
Ryu ga
Gotoku.
There we go. So
There it
that's
is.
the right way to say it. They completely spelled it wrong when they brought it stateside. This is, of course, this is the newest Yakuza game. It's out today. It got a demo like a month ago that a lot of people managed to somehow get the full game through.
What a nightmare that scenario must have been for Sega.
Yeah, the game has been out in Japan for a year and a half. I'm really excited to finally get to talk about it and play it. I've already kind of played through it, so I don't know. I don't know where to go with this. I'm kind of curious what people people actually want to see us doing. Obviously, the Yakuza games have a lot of like mini games and fun stuff like that. I tried to have a save file that had a lot of those unlocked, but the way this one is structured, it's a little bit tricky. Kind of once you play through to have that set up. So
so let's jump into it. Do we need to make a spoiler warning here for anyone who might just be jumping into this?
I mean, it's so tricky. I think this game might actually, the way they're releasing these, this might have spoilers for the next Yakuza game they're releasing, which would be Kiwami 2, which is of course a remake of 2.
Right.
We can start fresh. We can start at the very beginning if people want to see that, or we can kind of jump in a little bit later on. Obviously, just seeing the game in action could be spoilers for some people, so we could also just skip over story stuff and kind of just goof around. We are manning the chats on IGN, on Mixer, on YouTube, and on Twitch. So if you have kind of feedback,
you know what we can
what you
do?
want to see?
We can create a poll on
There we
IGN.com asking if we should skip the story stuff.
Yeah.
So let's start off with a save that is kind of open worldy,
Sure.
and then we'll see how this poll turns out, and then we'll go from there.
I think this should give us a little bit of a good look at Kamurocho. And of course, there are occasionally tips on the loading screens that might constitute spoilers. I haven't been paying too close of attention for that. I'll try to be careful to not say anything stupid, but this game is interesting because it is considerably more. I feel like its main story is kind of heavier than the previous two games, which
Sure.
have been much more about kind of going off and getting off the beaten path and playing around sub stories and whatnot.
Let's go.
All right, I'm just gonna skip this.
We're gonna skip this one.
I'm going to skip this cutscene. And there might be some questions. You might be curious why things are happening, but this is kind of, at the end of the day, this game is kind of a mystery. So it's sort of a lot of figuring out who did what. But here we are. It'll be like kind of a mystery adventure for starters. This is the new town. This is Onomichi, and
Oh, you got a little baby in your hand.
a baby. This is Haruto, who's a child who you gotta kind of figure out who he's attached to. I don't know. You unravel many mysteries in this game, but the point is that Kiryu has to take care of this baby, which is kind of gets in the way with him beating the crap out of dudes. So we've just arrived in Onomichi, which is down in Hiroshima. It's a sleepy little fishing town. Completely different from the kind of stuff he's used to in Kamurocho in Tokyo.
It's definitely not as loud as
nice
Kamurocho.
Nice and chill. And we're gonna go duck into this bar, I think, and we're gonna see what's going on.
So Max, what's your experience with the Yakuza games? Because go ahead.
I adored Sleeping Dogs, which has nothing to do with Yakuza, and everyone was like, have you played any of the Yakuza games? Because it seems like you might like it if you like beating up dudes with a fish and with, like rude garbage and beat 'em up stuff. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll check it out. So I jumped into Zero when it came out, and completely fell like head over heels in love with it, and then plowed through that, and then burned through Kiwami, and then jumped right onto this, and I'm eagerly awaiting Kiwami 2. Of course, there's a lot of people who have been playing them since 1, and they played through 3, 4, and 5, but I haven't done that yet. So here we are, meeting this nice new lady.
He's so cute.
Yeah, I gotta say they did like a really good job making a baby that isn't like a creepy baby. The Uncanny Valley. This is also totally running on like a new engine, so it's I think they really prioritized the cutscenes looking like cinematic quality.
You know what's amazing about the Yakuza series? It's it started on PS2, and even though there's obviously been huge jumps in terms of the graphical fidelity of all these games, the faces have always looked utterly amazing, even back in the PS2 era. That's one of the things I think they've really focused on.
Yeah. I think they do a good job of I mean, you look at Kiryu and he looks realistic, but also a little bit cartoony, and I think it's kind of that same thing as you get with Dishonored, where it's like it's good art direction. Like they made characters who are recognizable as like separate characters. Like Kiryu's got his little soul patch thing and his sideburns and his angry eyebrows, and they managed to kind of make that scale. And they've added. This game has probably more pores than I can recall seeing in recent games. It's a lot of facial details.
A lot of pores. Back in the box quote.
Yeah.
This game has more pores than any Yakuza game prior.
This one also has Takeshi Kitano, who's kind of a mainstay in Japanese cinema. He's like a kind of classic badass dude who's been in like tons of Japanese crime films. And this is the first time he's popped up in a Yakuza game, which is surprising because he's very much on brand with that. Like, he does a lot of sort of like tough guy. He's one of his I think the first movie he directed was just called Violent Cop, which is about a cop beating dudes up.
Oh man, it's 50-50 right now. Should we skip cutscenes?
So
that doesn't help at all.
There's going to be a lot of them. I'll put it that way.
We're gonna talk over them, to be honest, because you can't do a Yakuza stream if you're just quiet the whole time.
I would love to get to like the silly adventure stuff. We're gonna get to some silliness pretty shortly with the babby, but yeah, there's a lot of chatting. This is honestly this game. It feels the series is, in my experience, has always been kind of soap opera-ish. Like it's always been very much like it's like told in like chapters. It's kind of episodic. There are these almost like finales and it's it is very soap operatic. But this one especially feels like they really tried to refine the cutscenes, which isn't for everybody. Some people want to play claw machines.
Want to play some Virtua Fighter?
Exactly. Yeah. This does also include the entirety of Puyo Puyo and Virtua Fighter.
There you go.
So you secretly get 2 other games along with the purchase of this.
What year does this game take place in? Do you know?
This one takes place in 2016, 2015 or 2016.
Okay.
But what happened was at the end of 5, which I believe came out, that was released before 0. That came out, I think, in 2011, 2012, something like that. It was a PS3 game. At the end of that, Kiryu gets sent to jail.
Yeah.
And they do a pretty good job of sort of recapping you. But the whole thing is time has passed, and Kamurocho is different, and everyone's got smartphones instead of just flip phones. And there's some trouble going on, and things have all very changed politically, and there's some familiar faces if you play the other games. This guy right here is sort of a new character, and if you start the game fresh, he's one of the first. These 2 characters are some of the first ones you meet in sort of like a kind of like a bookend thing. Like it sort of jumps around in time.
Yeah. We have a question that I think is going to be the most popular question that we're going to get asked on this stream.
I think I see this one coming here.
Do you need to play the other games to know what's going on in Yakuza 6?
I would say that even if you've played a bunch of the other games, there's still going to be stuff in here that confuses you. I would really recommend playing Kiwami before you play this one.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people point to 0. 0 is fantastic. I think Kiwami, because it's a remake of the first one, that's kind of that was Kiryu's first game, and this is being treated as sort of like his big glass grand outing. I don't know what they're going to do with the Yakuza series after this, but it's kind of like this is really sort of trying to put an end to his story, because I mean they've got him like they've had him doing everything. They've got him babysitting and stuff, and it's he's kind of he's getting on in years. But I would say like Kiwami is a pretty easy game to kind of burn through. It's really fun. It's very goofy. Introduces you to a lot of the kind of key players and sort of the flow of the game. And then this is a huge sort of technical improvement on really kind of every aspect of it. But it is much more of a story-focused game. I think you can jump into it if you really just want to play the hot new thing. It does do a good job of playing catch-up. There are summaries just from the title screen of every other game. If you want to just kind of like recap, you don't even have to go to Wikipedia. So it's time to kick some ass, which is really what Kiryu does best.
By the way, I need to point out, Max knew that we were doing a Yakuza stream, so you may think that Max just came to work, coincidentally, wearing the same kind of shirt that Kazuma or Kiryu wears. But what's the story on that?
I don't. I got a light gray suit tailored. I was in Vietnam a few weeks ago, and I decided to get a Kiryu suit made.
That's awesome.
I actually ordered some incredibly tacky gator skin loafers too, but they're too big, so they're currently sitting at my desk in an Amazon box waiting to be returned. So I may or may not be cosplaying it from Yakuza at my own wedding. So yeah, I like him a lot. He's a really endearing character. I remember a while ago somebody was like, "What if you had to go drinking with like a video game character? Who would you go with?" And I was like, it's funny because the characters that you like the most are oftentimes kind of not really the people you'd want to hang out with.
Not really great people, maybe.
Yeah. Like I feel like like Final Fantasy characters would mostly be like very dramatic.
Yeah.
Somebody like Big Boss or Solid Snake would just be way too intense. But like I think that like Kiryu and Geralt are both the kind of dudes who I'd want to hang out with.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and Kiryu's just like he's kind of a badass with a heart of gold.
Yeah.
And I just love this.
Yeah. The thing I love the most about the Yakuza series is that it is able to walk this fine line of being super serious during like the big story beats, but then completely off the wall insane. The very next moment.
It feels like a more realistic anime.
Yeah.
Like it's very. I mean, I would love to see. It's got a little bit of anime and a little bit of kind of like martial arts cinema in it.
I
love this. Just give him this beat down.
It's like a lot of people. Hold on, I'll wait for this.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so cool.
Right?
I want to grow up to be just like
he's so good.
Kiryu.
Yeah.
And that voice. Oh.
I love it. Yeah, so basically, if you're sort of half paying attention or if we're talking over it, this dude's kind of like a small town goon. Meanwhile, Kiryu is like he's been around the block a few times. He's kind of like a big city goon who's done some. He's actually, it's funny, in spite of the title, the whole sort of premise of the series is that he's not part of the Yakuza. He's not actually a gangster. He's just always getting tangled up in their BS. So.
Yeah.
So you know what, we could go kind of run around and see what's going on in Onomichi. I don't know how much in the way of mini games are actually unlocked here, but we can
definitely got to do karaoke if there's an option. Realm of Chaos wants to know, what chapter is this?
This is, I believe, 4. Can I go in
Chapter
here?
4.
Can I go into New Gaudi? I don't think I can go into Snack New Gaudi yet. I think, if I remember correctly, this is a bar that doesn't unlock until like kind of late in the game, which is a little bit annoying. Here's some bad guys. Also, they're...
oh, man, we got some military badasses over here.
Who the hell are these guys? I love that they're just patrolling the streets. Okay. Oh, man! Nice little bit of, yeah, this game has managed to really kind of take the place of Metal Gear in a lot of ways. They're not even close, like, in terms of gameplay. Like, they're not... They're very different games, but
sure.
There's... it's that kind of mix of, like, of humor and, really badass stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you just murdered a man.
Yeah. I think is he dead?
He's totally dead.
One thing I do love is it has that little bit of like River City Ransom sensibility where you'll just like utterly murder somebody and then in the next shot they'll be like, "I'm really sorry. I'll never do that again." And you're like, "How are you not dead? How did that not kill you?"
Alright, so the winner for Should We Skip Cutscenes is definitively no.
Okay.
So we're gonna roll through the cutscenes, but I mean, we gotta be honest. We're gonna be talking through them.
We'll stay chatty, yeah. So let's head back and there's a kind of tedious but pretty funny sequence is about to occur that I figure is worth showing off because it gives a good idea of sort of the range of the silliness of this game. I recommend playing Kiwami before playing this because it will endear you to Kiryu Kazuma, and that alone, I think, will really suck you into this game. I think that knowing a handful of the characters, and assuming you like them in previous games, then you'll that goes a long way. And I got into these games because I'd seen silly animated GIFs online, and I was like, okay, so what is this? Like, what is this series? And then I kind of started, playing it almost like ironically, and then I was like, no, I actually really, really like these. I like seriously enjoy them. So it's,
It's funny because I feel like that is the same way that a lot of people have been exposed to the Yakuza games, and I think it's kind of a shame that the release that like Twitter came so late in terms of the Yakuza release in the U.S.
Oh,
because
yeah.
if Twitter was as readily available as it is now, I think Yakuza would probably be a much bigger game series than it is right now.
Yeah. So, Haruka here. This is, if you're going in totally blind, I could see this being a spoiler, but you're also, if you're watching this live stream, you clearly don't care about that. She's sort of Kiryu's like adopted daughter, basically. Like she plays a key part in the first game, and then apparently by Yakuza 5, she's become a pop idol, which I didn't know. I haven't played 5, but that's like a key thing in there. At some point in there, Kiryu also operates an orphanage. So like he does a lot of sort of like weird odd jobs, but sort of like the key thing is trying to figure out who her baby's daddy is. And you're hunting around what has led you to Onamichi, and everyone's kind of being like, I don't know who that is.
She was also a famous idol.
There you go.
We got people asking, have you played Shenmue 1 or 2? Have you played Shenmue?
I actually haven't. And we talked about this a bit on Beyond this week, but I don't think after playing modern Yakuza games I could go back and play Shenmue, but I am curious about it. There's a lot of very kind of similar DNA there.
Yeah. But yeah, the Shenmue 1-2 collection just got announced, so there is an opportunity to go back and play Shenmue if you don't have a Dreamcast or backwards compatible Xbox.
Exactly. Yeah, that'd be nice to to check that out. I do like the idea. I just like that idea of it being sort of like an everyday nonsense simulator. Like the idea that it's sort of like you can go to vending machines. You can do stuff. That always really drew me to open world games.
Yeah.
So there are some really funny mini games in this. There's like baseball management. They always have like some really kind of nutty.
They always have some like sim management game or something.
The big one in this that I haven't gotten super into is they have Clan Creator, which is basically like it feels like a kind of a Clash of Clans like, where it's sort of like half, I guess, sort of tower defense-y, but you playing against like another team. But you basically you kind of stack your own deck with goons and stuff, and then you make them fight each other. And it's like it's not fully real time, but that's like a whole sort of game within a game. So
I'm gonna pose a question to you guys, the chat, that we were kind of talking about. Max, you said that you'd really like to grab a drink with Kiryu.
Oh yeah.
What are some video game characters that you would very much like to grab a drink with in video games?
That's a good question. And now remember, before you say, I don't know, somebody like Kratos.
I was just going to say Kratos.
Kratos seems like he would be awful to drink with. He would just be like really like, you'd be scared of him. He seems like the kind of guy you wouldn't want to drink near.
Yeah. And not even just like new Kratos versus old Kratos. I wouldn't want to drink with either of them.
Yeah. All right.
Go to the Navy apartments!
Yeah, so we are talking over the cutscenes in this because there are a lot of cutscenes in this, and they are also subtitled, so... yeah. So there's a lot of like really crabby small town people in this. But this guy's going to let me rent a spare room, but he's going to be kind of a jerk about it. And also, I'm going to have to walk with him through the streets very slowly, as you sometimes have to do in video games.
People are asking, PS4 exclusive? Yes,
Yep.
PS4 exclusive.
Justin Crow says he would drink with Duke Nukem. I don't know, man. I used to think so, and then he just, I don't know, I feel like he'd just be gross, Like he would just get weird after a certain point.
Yeah.
He also, he literally picks up a turd in one of those games and runs around with it. So
Probably
I
not
feel like
super
he's not
hygienic.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like he would just kind of converse in one-liners, which would get old really quick.
Yeah, he just quotes movies. You're like, okay, you're one of those guys. Joey D says, I would drink with Toad and eat mushrooms.
All right.
That would be a weird night. Try to make him take off his part of his head that everyone thinks is a hat. Walking this lady. Hey, check it out, I got a baby. Check out my baby. All right.
Do you like babies like I like babies?
I don't want to, dude, I don't want to, like, objectify or anything, but, like, look at his ass. There's a whole, like, gym mini game in this, and you have to go to the gym and do, like, these little rhythm games to work out, and then you can take, like, there's straight up, like, a nutritionist, like, mode to it, where the next thing you eat affects your score for working out. Like, you basically have a personal trainer in this game.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
And if you do it right, you get gains, and you get, there's a whole little thing where, like, Kiryu's, like, there with his shirt off and like flexing, and it's like, this is all right. This is a game. All right. So here's our room. This guy's really just awful. He's such a jerk. I really like, basically, Kiryu shows up, and he's a nice enough dude, but he's also, like, he's kind of like a, big-time city slicker. So all these, like, small-town folks are, like, sort of obnoxious to him. Like, they're kind of, like, they kind of give him a hard time, but he also does look like he's trouble.
I think the most amazing thing that I've seen in the Yakuza games is that you look at Kiryu, and you're like, this guy would absolutely mop the floor with me if I try to take him in a fight. But you still constantly walk the streets, and these scrawny men try to start fights with you, having no weapons.
I think it's in Zero. Maybe it's this one where there's somebody who's just like, hey, I've been really trying to work out. Can you like fight me? And he's not like an enemy. He's just sort of like a guy who's like, hey, I'm trying to get better at fighting. I want to practice. Let's say Blade Blur says, is the entire game voiced this time? Yes, that is one of the things that they worked on for this.
Really? Wow.
So for cutscenes, but also for like random
even
side
events. Wow, that's impressive. There's a lot of dialogue in these games.
And it's this game is funny. The localization in these is top notch.
Yeah. I would say like the localization in these games is probably top of the line in terms of how to localize a game.
So yeah, basically everybody in town has a crush on the local bartender lady. Whatever, I think call her a mama.
Is that snack mama?
Yep. But pretty much she's like, hey, can you like rent my friend a room here? And they're like, fine, but only because you're really cute. So here's Kiryu with his little baby.
Living life with Kiryu Kazuma. Let's see here. Once again, guys, we are live on Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, and we are also live on IGN.com. So if you have any questions about Yakuza 6, Max here has actually played through the whole game, correct?
Yes, I have.
So, without going into spoilers, we should be able to...
No, happy to field any questions about it. And, I can... Again, if you haven't played any Yakuza game, I recommend Kiwami before this one, but it isn't entirely... it won't entirely, chase you off if you don't know exactly what's going on. Uh-oh. Diaper time.
Oh, baby.
That is like a very realistic baby. Oh, look at that. He like managed to dodge the pee. This makes me think of that part in Heavy Rain. I'm really glad this isn't like a QTE where you have to change a diaper, but there's that part in Heavy Rain where you're like the detective and you gotta put on the baby's diaper.
Yeah.
And I always like to just screw it up, like he's just bumbling around, and just rubbing this thing around.
My favorite part about Heavy Rain is just bumbling
just
every
people,
possible way.
They don't know what they're doing.
Oh man,
look at those pores.
I saw a Twitter thing about this.
Yep.
There's some great drama in Yakuza 6. Get some milk!
Get the milk! All right. Yeah, it's so it's not quite like Tokyo where you can go into any local Poppo or 7-Eleven or Don Quixote and buy whatever you need. It's kind of like things actually have, hours here. So he's gonna go talk to some strangers.
Bladler wants to know, Max, what's your favorite Yakuza game?
So far, I think Yeah, that's really hard. I think probably Zero.
Yeah,
I
me
really
too.
like Majima as a character. I'm so excited for more of him in Kiwami 2. But again, I also barely scratched the surface in this series, and I hope they keep remastering 3, 4, and 5 so I can catch up with those.
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't beaten Zero yet, but that's the one that I've been most impressed with.
Yeah.
And like playing through Kiwami before beating Zero, I'm still like, how? How did Majima turn into this character?
Yep. Yeah, I wish I'd played Kiwami because everyone's like, oh, Zero's the earliest one. Oh, I've got to calm the baby.
Oh, don't shake the baby.
It's a baby. Okay, this is the difficult baby minigame. All right.
I love this music.
Who needs a swing? Does he like it? I think he
doesn't like it. Give me the baby.
All right, here, you take
give me
the baby.
There we go. See, he likes me so much more.
Okay, you've got a motherly touch.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm such a good daddy.
You're doing really. Have you been practicing for this?
I have. Oh no! Don't cry. Don't cry.
So yeah, this is one of those things I saw in the trailers, and I was like, what is going on in this game? I maybe should be paying attention to the series. Rub his tummy.
Rub his tummy.
Rub his tummy.
Is that what he wants? He wants a tummy rub?
I don't know. I don't know. I think there's like that weird like light speed stuff behind him. Is that sadness? Move the sticks. Go see if he wants to go upsy daisy.
Upsy daisy? All right. You know what? You take it back. You're a better daddy than me.
There we go. Yeah, he likes it.
You know.
And the baby is fine. All right. So yeah, it's that kind of a game.
I feel like this baby just gets bored with people quickly, and then you just gotta keep passing him off.
I love this. So yeah, I just got a bunch of like experience for just making the baby calm down. Hold on, this guy's pretty funny, I think.
Dr. James Cotina says hit the baby spin on to stop it! No! Radiant Garden wants to know, are there still combat styles?
No, they've kind of consolidated them. In what is it? In Zero, there's like, or I think Zero and 3 both had like separate modes, right?
Yeah.
In this one, they pretty much like fuse them into one. So there's still heat actions, and you have like extreme heat mode, where basically it's kind of like beast mode from Zero, where you'll automatically pick stuff up and you can pick up heavier items. The combat is like totally overhauled, and you know, baby's upset again.
It's in trouble.
Who cares about combat when you've got babysitting? All right. Yep. So anyway,
does he want me to lift him? So I have to imagine there's specific tells that you have to look for in order to know what to do here.
I'm sure there's a wiki out there somewhere.
There we go. Upsy daisy. He doesn't want to go upsy daisy.
All right. So. What do you want,
baby?
There we go. Wow, he really liked that. So there's a lot of weird stuff in this game. There's also there's a whole mission where you need to like collect cats for a cat cafe. He doesn't like that either. And you have to figure out what kind of cats like what kind of cat food. So it's a game about really appeasing the fussiest of people, babies and cats. All right. I'll be honest, this part is a little bit tedious. You don't have the baby the entire game. It's really just kind of like one stretch where you have to take care of the baby, and then it's kind of done with it. It's sort of like, okay, fine.
Desmond Parish wants to know, is the main character customizable? Which I'm pretty sure I can answer. In terms of his face and features, you cannot customize him.
No, because he's a character.
Yeah.
I think you can get costumes, but I don't believe you're able to actually use them until you get to sort of unlock the sort of New Game Plus mode. Which is a real bummer, because I feel like this game would benefit from being in one of these absurd cutscenes in an extra weird costume. There's a part in the main game where you do become a mascot, which is really fun.
I've seen pictures of that.
It's really, really great.
Sell that baby to a sheik? No! You guys are horrible.
Alright, so we're trying to find like a pharmacy or something. Let's go ask this guy. Where is he?
Is it an open world game? Yeah, technically, but I think with asterisks in there.
It's the way I think I liked it described best was I think Marty Sleva described it as it's like open world, but it's very dense. Like it's kind of squished down. It's more like, I don't know. You can't get in the cars and drive around. And there's parts where it is sort of more linear with story. This one feels like they made a fairly linear game in an open world kind of structure, which is again, if you're invested in the story and the characters, that's not a problem. But I can see if you really just want to screw around in an open world game, it can be like sort of frustrating to have to burn through cutscenes and story beats and stuff like that.
Yeah. Ad9 on the IGN chat says far better child rearing interactions than God of War.
I would say that I think that Kiryu is automatically just a nicer dad than Kratos.
It's probably true.
Come on, what do you want? What do you just use your words? He wants to
just talk like a normal human baby.
Yeah. Okay.
Key to Anime says it's not open world, it's called wide linearity. I've never heard that being used before, but I think that's a very interesting description.
I've heard that term before. I disagree with what that term means. I think if it's wide linear, it's very, very wide because there's entire stretches of the game where it just turn you loose in a large sort of sandbox area and lets you go do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're getting into semantics here. It's the important thing is it's about child rearing.
This game is all about child rearing.
Oh, for God's sake, you stupid baby, just stop crying.
What's great is that it's actually realistically mimicking what it's really like to have a baby and not being able to figure out what it wants.
There we go. And I swear this part is really... We won't be doing this forever. It is funny to me, though, that people are like, yes, I've come for the HD gameplay of the hot new action game about beating dudes up in the street. And I'm like, well, hold on, let me get some powdered milk. Oh, for God's sake, you love Upsy Daisy. You just were laughing at it. It was so much fun for you. There we go. I love his laugh. Yosh! All right. Okay, where are we? We're going to find the milk. We've got to get the milk. Once we get the milk, we will do some ass kicking, I promise. But first, the baby needs the milk.
I just love people with no context just jumping into this. What even is this?
That is so welcome to the world of Yakuza. It's a very strange thing. Gotta get the milk for the baby. So yeah, if you played the last two games, I think it's noticeably more like natural in how the cutscenes play out.
Yeah.
Like the mocap, the performance capture is sort of more like paced better.
Oh, come on, lady.
What, do you got like a milk delivery first thing in the morning? God's sake, just give me the milk. The baby is so upset.
I went to jail, you know. I won't tell you what for.
I have killed. Oh, so the jerk that I'm renting a room from, he may have milk. I just came from his room. Why did he not have the milk for me? I have the baby, clearly.
The 5 wants to know, IGN, is this a worthy finale for the series? We gotta be careful here talking about spoilers, but...
I really, really liked it. I really liked the story. I thought the gameplay was after... And I always hate like the expression, like, oh, I thought it was like the gameplay was lacking. I thought that it was... it felt like there was like less stuff to keep you occupied than Kiwami and Zero. But as far as like really just really making a fantastic story, I thought it was pretty good. Mm-hmm. And the presentation is phenomenal, and I kind of hope we get the rest of the games put into this engine because it's great. I think that Kiwami 2 is going to be like phenomenal looking. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we get stuff like 3, 4, and 5, so I can play them and find out what those weird animated GIFs I've seen on Twitter are all about. I saw one where like a guy was carving like a wooden figurine very dramatically, and I don't know what that was about at all. So get to the bar with the baby. Go on.
Get to the bar with the baby is not something I I want to hear.
I just came from there, and now you tell me that he has the milk. Alright, look at these guys hanging out.
MC Skeptic Official wants to know. Oh damn! This is the last in the series. I mean, according to Sega.
Well, there's also this is sort of the last of Kiryu's adventures.
Sure. It's worth mentioning also that the Yakuza games have had multiple main characters throughout throughout the series.
Also, they've had one where that was in feudal Japan. There was one with zombies. The next one, the next game they're working on after Kiwami 2 is a Fist of the North Star game,
which I actually imported and have played a little bit of, and it's unbelievable.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I wish I understood what was happening,
right.
But
I don't know if translation will necessarily help with that, given Fist of the North Star, but
you'd be surprised at how well Fist of the North Star translates to Yakuza style gameplay.
I would love more than anything if they made a Cowboy Bebop game.
Oh,
I feel like that. Like Kiryu's already pretty close to his Spike in a lot of ways. Yeah. But if we had just, what do you want? He doesn't like that. What are your signs, baby? Why must we play this game? Also, baby's crying from the controller.
So, with minigames like this, do you feel like part of the problem is that maybe the motion controls aren't that
I think it's part of it. I think that they made this game. I think this probably was going to be a bigger part of the game, and they were like, I don't know how we feel about this. Let's just have it in one segment and then try to get through it.
Yeah.
There's like, I'm trying to think what other sort of stuff like this there is in the game. The karaoke's really good.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd say that about a video game, but
always is.
There we go, little weasel. There's also a mini game that's basically about making small talk in a bar, which is really funny. There we go. Okay. And it's basically like it's like a rhythm game where you have to pay attention to what people are talking about and then like promptly reply the right answer. So it's like being on like a time attack like BioWare game almost, which is hilarious. I mean, the writing in these games is just like phenomenal. Like it's so like stupid and weird and endearing and like badass all at once. He never wants the rub. He never wants the baby rubs. I'm running out of time. What's he gonna do?
Yeah, what happens if you fail this minigame?
Okay. Just let me go to get the milk so I can put you down in the basket and you go to bed.
You fail the minigame, you drop him off at daycare.
You die in the game, you die in real life. Just like, seriously, you couldn't just hire somebody to handle this?
You got 10 seconds.
No!
You gotta figure out what this baby wants. Upsy daisy.
Ah! I've never lost this, so I don't actually know what happens.
Oh no!
Is it gonna be game over?
Game over. You failed to make the baby happy.
Does he poop? I don't actually... What? Oh.
Oh, well, that wasn't that bad.
Oh.
Failed.
Wow, that was... So I just like lost an entire sub-story because I wasn't able to make the baby stop crying. But at least he shut up. That's cool.
Brian Twitch wants to know, does this game have a recap feature like past games? I haven't played since Yakuza 3.
Yes, that's all available in the menu.
Wow,
and
cool.
you can burn through kind of like all the stuff that happened, and you know it'll catch you up.
And so it covers 1 through 5 or 0 through 5.
It's all just like a really kind of quick like little text pages you can flip through. And there is actually stuff in there's like a really interesting way in the actual game itself that'll kind of catch you up on all the different characters.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I played through that. That's really cool.
It's kind of funny because it's just so half-assed. It's just like, hey. I mean, I don't know if that's a spoiler or not. You have to go talk to all the characters from the series in a dream. Oh, look at this guy. All right. Now it's time for what people really want to see, which is me beating up. Look at that pee. That's like really good pee. Also, I think like the Austin Powers thing going on there.
Yeah.
I came here to clean up these streets, and you're putting pee on them. Get out of here with that wiener.
I'll tell you what. I'll shove his face in his own pee if you give me some milk.
Oh, he's gonna get it. Also, it's apparently really cold out. Look at the steam coming off. Ooh. For the record, we're only playing on a base PS4. I don't know if this is optimized for Pro or not.
If it was on the PS4 Pro, that pee would look even better.
Yeah. What's it gonna say, like menacing man, probably? I love that like, sometimes characters are named, other times they're just like drunk guy.
See,
drunk Yakuza!
Oh, he's a Yakuza.
Okay, so basically, I've sort of filled up my heat gauge, and now I'm glowing blue, so I can. What?
What's happening here?
I'm not really sure.
Are you biting him?
I think I was gonna shove him or something. I'm just kind of screwing around here. I've also like sort of managed to unlock all the.
So how do you like the
moves.
combat compared to previous games? It's usually pretty similar, right?
It's a little bit stripped. I mean, again, this is I give this game kind of a benefit of the doubt because they did rebuild an entire engine from the ground up, you know. Whereas I think that like Zero and Kwame were sort of built on systems that were introduced in earlier games, even than that. I wish the combat was a little bit more juicy. I wish more heat actions and more stuff you could do, but it's still really fun to play.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a great spectacle to this game's combat, but I wish there was more meat to it.
Occasionally, you will have like sort of options to do stuff, and just like like stuff you can pick up or use as a weapon. I think it's like you get like achievements or points or whatever for just using everything around you as a weapon, which I really like. I don't know, you pick up like a newspaper machine and throw it at somebody. All right, so we gotta go home and feed the baby.
Hero KE is correcting people, saying Yakuza 6, the subtitle is actually Hold My Baby. And that people aren't aware that the word Yakuza roughly translates to surrogate father.
Huh. That totally makes sense.
The more you know.
That means a lot. Actually, so I was reading an interesting thing. It was about how the kind of the context that's oftentimes missing for people who watch the movie Akira is that it's about orphans. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of thinking about it like, oh, that's also a big theme. Like orphans are a big theme in Yakuza as well. And a lot of, I mean, it does make sense. A lot of Yakuza culture sort of started up after World War II because a lot of parents got killed in the war. And I don't know. There's actually a bunch of what is it? It's Battle Without Honor or Humanity, which is you might know the song from Kill Bill.
Yeah,
it's a like badass tune, but exactly, yeah. So that's like a really long-running Yakuza movie series.
Yeah,
that's loosely based on real events. And I was checking those out. I think they're all streaming on Amazon Prime. But if you're like, I don't know, curious about that, it's interesting that the Yakuza games are all sort of, in like the 90s and 2000s for the most part, Zeros in the 80s. But like, going back further than that, when it was like, oh, these are like crime families sort of built up in post-war Japan. I wonder if they'd ever want to go earlier and go into like sort of more, historical stuff.
I think I can actually answer this question from Christ Puncher. Why are the subtitles insinuating that this Japanese woman speaks like a U.S. Southerner? I assume it's because she's speaking with an Osakan dialect, which is kind of similar to how Southerners might speak compared to someone who doesn't live in the South.
Yeah, so you're in Onomichi, which is sort of like a backwoods sort of fishing village, and that's kind of a big part here is that it's like this. You're in the middle of nowhere. You're in this town that nobody, there's no like, there's not really any big stuff going on there, except maybe there is, and you're trying to kind of get to the bottom of it and figure out, what's up over there. Like there's not a huge Yakuza presence there. There's kind of like some dudes who just goof around.
Yeah.
Soulless Ghost 00 says, explain what this game's about. Well,
how long you got?
There's a country. It's called Japan. It's very far away. No, it's about you play this guy Kiryu Kazuma, who's a sort of kind of just a guy who's trying to do right. He's trying to do what's best for things, and he's someone very dear to him gets hurt, and he winds up with this baby, and he tries to find out who the baby's father is, and a lot of guys try to get in his way and he just proceeds to really kick their asses. So, for the most part, it's about trying to do the right thing and also to kick a bunch of ass. So, Yakuza.
There you go.
The games.
Now we're going to clip this out, and it's going to be Yakuza in 1 minute.
There we go.
we did a feature, guys. Christ Puncher says, got you to say Christ Puncher. You got me to say it 3 times.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
Honestly, that kind of sounds like a beat 'em up game in itself.
Yeah. I was going to say it sounds like a metal band or something.
Yeah. Devilman Crybaby. All right, you going to take a nap, Kiryu? What are you doing? Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that's sort of hard to decode as a Westerner, just because I'm not, I don't know Japanese culture that well, and apparently they do a good job of localizing stuff and trying to contextualize it, but there is still there still are, you know, concepts that maybe are the story doesn't give as much attention to as, you know, it might if it were trying to introduce it to a Western audience. I love this. It's like,
It's just hold this baby while I beat up these thugs. Make sure the baby watches.
So what I love is you can just like bicycles.
So the save that we have right now, this is an early game save?
This is like a new game plus. So I'm like leveled up to hell.
Right. I was gonna say you beat those guys up real quick.
Yeah. There are difficulty settings in the game. I played through it on normal. It was actually really easy. It felt easier than the previous ones.
Yeah.
But you know, still fun. And there is an even easier mode than that. So I'm gonna go. Where am I supposed to go?
I feel like this is probably the kind of game where I don't really mind it being easy. Like I kind of want to get through the combat and just appreciate the spectacle.
It's pretty much for the story and also just like feeling like a badass and handing your baby off to random people.
I feel like that's the same guy. He just follows you around to hold your baby.
So it's interesting because they made it so you can move around on the streets considerably more. I wonder if I can actually. Nope, they're sort of blocking me off.
Put a cone on his head.
See, yeah. So those are your heat actions. You fill up these little balls at the top there, and those allow you to do those sort of finishing moves, which are fun. And you can also do stuff like, oh, did I not grab it? I think I just smashed the motorcycle instead of picking it up.
My favorite heat actions are the ones for like things that you wouldn't expect to be able to do a assassination move with. Like you can get like a salt and pepper shaker or something.
It's pretty good. This one, there's a move you can do where if you're in the city and near a convenience store, you can go inside the convenience store and everyone will follow you in there and you knock everything off the shelves. And if you open the counter, you can throw a guy over the counter so his head goes into the microwave and you turn to the clerk and you're like, heat up this trash.
What?
And he'll like explode he'll like electrocute him with the microwave. And I'm like, that would 100% kill somebody and probably burn the place down.
Can we try to do that for this stream?
Let's see if we can. Yeah, it's basically the coolest heat action in the entire series as far as I'm concerned. Where am I going? I'm trying to go down there. This is a little bit annoying, this sort of like labyrinthine town. But I think Onomichi's a real place. I'm not entirely sure. I know that Kamurocho is a sort of fictionalized version of Kabukicho, which is a real part of Tokyo.
Yeah, like you can actually visit this place and recognize stuff, correct?
Yeah. Uh-oh. What do we got here? Uh-oh. This guy again. He's brought friends this time. Trouble. Yeah, so he's kind of like he's trying to protect his home turf and be a tough guy, but Kiryu's like, no man, I'm not going to put up with that. It's me, the Dragon of Dojima.
Takaki.
He's pretty great. I love the detail in these guys' clothes. Like they're so tacky. Yeah, so they're like, get out of here. Yep. You can actually, I don't know if I have it here because I'm carrying the baby around, but I can normally pull out my phone and take selfies. And apparently there's ghosts hidden around the game, much like in Metal Gear Solid. Like there's just hidden developer ghosts.
Man, I feel like the eyes are usually the hardest part when it comes to facial capture, and this game has some of the best eyes I've ever seen.
This is, I think I kind of played through this game like I was marathoning a season of a show.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of cutscenes, which I know isn't for everybody, but it's like if you give it a chance, it's incredibly rewarding to like really get into it. Also, just like it manages to be like. There's a lot of sort of serious and kind of goofy moments, but also, I don't know, it's very touching, too.
Yeah. Javik1 says, and I don't know if you're joking. If you're joking, it's pretty funny. Is this the Shenmue remaster? No, this is not. This is Yakuza 6.
But, I think it'll probably play a little better than a Dreamcast remaster.
A little better.
We'll wait and see. All right. I really need to get rid of this baby. Where's Jimmy's bar? She's right here. Ooh.
ちょうど今、桐生さんのところに行こうと思ってたの。ちょっと頼みがあって。 Kiryu-san, 野球でき
Oh,
ます
yes.
Can I play
yes.
baseball?
Yes, yes. This is great. I'm so happy we're doing this
そっ
part.
か飯野くんのやってる草野球
Yeah.
チームで今日これから試合があるんだけどね急にメンバー
It feels like so...
それで私から
Like, it's funny that this is so far into the series, and there have been such big, huge moments. That this feels like such a sort of almost like a western, where it's like, hey, you're just this stranger in this like small town. Like, hey, we need help at the old. Like, I mean, it makes me think of like Back to the Future 3, when he's just sort of like, oh, it's like Marty McFly, like kind of hanging around in this like old west town. But again, it's in modern Japan. So we're gonna go and we're gonna go play baseball because that's like a nice wholesome small town activity that people do. He's like, I can, it's Kiryu. He can do whatever he wants. He can do anything.
Dr. James Cotina, you're the second person who has brought up Kazuma from Tekken. Yes, they do look similar. It's actually shocking to me that Kiryu has not been in a Tekken game.
Hasn't he?
He has not. No.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that would be a pretty... I mean, we just got out of that Soul Calibur stream. I feel like that's kind of a no-brainer to make him in that game. Then we can do Kiryu versus Geralt.
Yes,
I like the idea...
Truly, the battle that everyone wants to see.
I really like the idea of like Kiryu being in like a Soul Calibur game, but he's just got like a parking meter. He's got like a parking cone.
He just has a different random traffic object.
It's like a bicycle.
ごめんねお待たせ
Alright.
ハルト君のパパ探さないといけない
Just let me go to the baseball game. God.
そう言ってくなら行きましょう
Yeah, so I feel like we've done a pretty good job of navigating away from any spoilers. This is kind of right in the sort of beginning, once the story sort of like lets you out in the world, and it's you still don't really have any answers, so there aren't any big revelations here. But there are some really cool there's some really cool sort of moments in this game where you're like, oh, whoa, that happened, or oh, I never saw that coming. So yeah. I love that it's like, hey, I'll let you rent my room, but you got to play baseball with me. Like I don't know if I would even do that.
せがましくしないでよ
Rubik's Guide, no, this is not on the Xbox One. This is only on the PS4.
ソガーにこいつの肩を持つことないんじゃないの
飯野君には関係ないでしょ
冷たいのおいじゃキリュウさんはライトの8番じゃじゃけどあんまり頑張りすぎんでは
We're in for such a treat. This is such a good part. This is so much fun.
I'm looking forward to this.
そうでも相手チームはそういうつもりじゃないみたいよ見てキリュウさん
You know, I don't know how big into anime you are, Max, but I feel like the best episodes of a lot of anime are the episodes where they play baseball.
I love filler episodes. I love
Dragon Ball Super has a really good
I need to check that
baseball
one
episode.
out. I haven't been watching Super at all, but I do need to watch that one.
Samurai Champloo has a really good
I've seen
baseball
that
episode.
one, yeah. It's so funny when I love that just like those like novelty episodes.
Yeah, there's just something about watching superpowered characters throw balls as hard as they can.
You ever seen Twilight?
I have not, no.
There's a part where the vampires all play baseball, and it's one of the dumbest things I've ever. It's so bad. They play Muse the whole time. Like it's just like oh. But it's it's the I love the idea of superpowered baseball. That was always my favorite in X-Men in the comics. There'd just be like bits where they're either playing baseball or shooting hoops in the backyard or whatever, and then somebody would use their powers and they'll get mad at each other.
Yeah.
This dude is like, he's really not he seems like a real jerk, but I don't know, maybe there's something, maybe there's more to him, you never know.
Mr. Dreadful wants that kitty jacket.
Alright, come on guys, let's play ball.
あんた前に投げ元いやちょっとした因縁で相手はヤクザだろヤクザは今おった広瀬一家の3人だけそれにななんかあってもわしが守っちゃるけあんたもあのバカタレは気にせんでええど
Okay, I think it's finally time for the baseball.
Nick Player 2 says, "It's a great Yakuza ball game, Charlie Brown." Oh!
Yeah, so I like the idea that you're like, hey, I gotta play. Like the idea that local criminals are still playing like baseball, and that it's kind of like, why would you, if you're gonna be like tough guys, like why don't you just I don't know beat people up normally and try to like enjoy the game? But apparently they're using baseball as a chance to like hurt people, which is bad news.
Also, it doesn't seem like the best strategy to win a baseball game.
Yeah, not very sporting.
Take your base.
Oh, it's so good. I love how just like he's such a good jerk. Like the performance is it reminds me of something out of like Kurosawa, like just that like level of like just kind of overacting that you see in like Japanese movies.
Isaiah McFan wants to know: is there a language choice? As far as I know, no. Right?
No, there's like way too much dialogue for them to dub over that. The first Yakuza game when it came to PS2 was dubbed, and I think that Sega was really hoping that it was going to be like the next like GTA or whatever, and it just didn't quite land the way they hoped.
Yeah.
But that's got like Michael Madsen, I think. I think they had like a bunch of celebrities voicing it. I'm like really curious about now. I kind of want to check it out. Showtime
says Simpsons baseball episode was the best. See?
Which one? There's a bunch of those, aren't there?
If you're making the
one with all the baseball players, yeah. But then Homer got to be a mascot a bunch. I've been rewatching Simpsons a bunch. So.
If you're making a long-running cartoon or anime, just put a baseball episode
Exactly, yeah. Send everybody to the DMV. Kills time.
So when is the guy saying his "Omae wa mo shindeiru" line? That's in the Fist of the North Star game, buddy.
Oh my God! Just play ball. So yeah, this is I don't know if you want a good story, a good old entertaining crime game. This is good.
Oh wow, Mark Hamill voiced Majima.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I might need to grab a copy of that. Look at that face. I love that. Yes.
That's gonna be the thumbnail of this video. Oh, it's so cool. Baseball fight. Baseball fight. Baseball fight. Baseball fight. Come on. I love that these two are just kind of like, he's doing it again. Fine. Max, did you specifically choose this part of the game so that we could see this?
I'm glad I did. I wanted to show off the baby part, but I'm glad that there's a nice balance between babysitting and also baseball. Yes. Yeah, when this music kicks in and it's just like a fight scene, it's just also just gonna run around. I love this.
I think the best thing that Yakuza does, the best thing that this game does, or this game series, is that it contextualizes its fights so well. Like, you're totally into this fight because of what just happened. Oh my God.
I'm gonna see if I can beat one of them with a baseball.
Oh, they're so mad.
They're after me. Luckily, there are baseballs everywhere.
Watch how a real man fights.
Yeah. Don't worry, he's fine.
Can you throw any of those? That was a sissy-looking throw. That was not how I expected him to throw that.
Time to take out the trash. Ah, damn it! My garbage can. Baseball fight. Baseball fight. I kind of hope I wish that the baseball throwing animations were like a little bit more.
He throws it like such a wimp.
I love doing this. That's so many baseballs. I don't think anybody would need this many baseballs.
Oh man. Is there any kind of heat action you can do other than the usual the usual
I don't
one
know
with.
if there's any like location specific ones, but I can definitely.
You do
There
one
we
of
go.
those.
There we go.
There it is. Oh,
That man would be dead. Oh, I love that move. Ah.
behave, so sweep the leg. There you
Whoa,
go.
whoa,
That's a
whoa,
good
holy,
one.
holy.
All right.
Okay. I didn't know you could
Back
do that.
up, back up, back up.
Oh, okay, that's kind of great. You can wind up.
Yeah.
And there's like no other context in the game for doing that. I guess they probably reused the animation for the. Oh. What? Okay. Fine. There we go.
Oof.
You do get Quicktime events here and there.
Yeah.
Occasionally I'd be like in the middle of like a very intense moment and just be like a little like a cutscene. I'd be like sitting down, like having a drink or something, and then I'd be like do that thing where you scramble for the controller so you can get in there, do it right.
Yeah, so the Fist of the North Star game has like moments like that where it's like a time button press, but it's all, Fist of the North style.
Oh, I love it.
And then their heads explode after.
Oh, I'm dying to play that game.
It's
I never
really
got into
cool.
Fist of the North Star aside from like the occasional like seeing clips of it and stuff.
Yeah.
I have the movie on DVD somewhere.
I
should watch
really
that.
hope that they localize it.
I love that that's one of those just like classic anime where people explode into blood for no reason. Yes. This does a good job of having the tropes. Like there's not like I don't think there's really any like I was gonna say there's like no fan service, but there's like an entire mini game where you talk to girls in like a cam show.
Oh yeah, they have a live cam.
Yeah. It's like really funny though, because like Kiryu's like he's kind of like not good at technology.
And so like when he's
like
typing,
like the minigame is him being like so sexy, and he's like, oh.
Nick Player 2 says, "Is this the new MLB gameplay reveal?"
Yeah, they've gotten kind of creative with the series. It's interesting that it's quite a show.
そうそう野球にだけは真面目だったのに見損なった
I just replied to his Slack, not knowing I was on Destin's account. Whoops.
Oops. Do we have any more questions from our fine viewers out there in computer land?
Let's see. This one.
David Harper says, "Isn't there a way to lock targets in this game?" Yeah, it's just R1 to lock on.
Anime fan says Diamond No Ace is a good baseball anime. Princess Nine is also a good baseball anime. Sorry.
I think sports anime is when it made me quit anime.
Really?
So in high school, like I had like the one friend who, and this is like gonna date me here, but he was like the one friend who had broadband internet, and he was like our guy that we'd be like, hey man, if I bring you some CDRs, can you burn me that Hellsing or whatever? And he'd be like, I'll see what I can do. Let me check my Kazaa downloads or whatever. And he was like,
This was me with Naruto.
Exactly. He was like the first guy to like talk to be like, I have BitTorrent. We're like, what's that? But he's like, I'm checking out this new anime. It's called Prince of Tennis, and I was like, oh, go on. What's Prince of Tennis about? He's like, tennis, and I was like, that's not like a fantasy land called tennis.
Nope.
Oh, and I was like, I don't know if I'm into that, and I just kind of, I don't know. I know there's good sports anime out
Oh
there,
man,
but
Prince of Tennis is great.
I mean, I think anime is proof that you can oftentimes make a story about anything.
Literally anything.
Yep. Food Wars. Yuri on Ice.
Soulless Ghost wants to know, will you ever play Metal Gear game again? If yes, then which one? I feel like there has to be a reason for us to play a Metal Gear game again, which right now, unless...
I've been toying with streaming some Phantom Pain again.
Oh
just
yeah?
jumping back into it.
Maybe in the Soul Playroom?
Yeah, it's been a minute since I played that, I had everything unlocked and everything, and I kind of want to go back and like play some of the earlier missions, but with like all the good gear and stuff, and really just play around. I straight up I have dreams about places in Phantom Pain, like the mission where you got to sneak up on Code Talker, and there's all like the parasite snipers coming after you. It's just. I don't know. That game is nowhere near perfect, but it's like got some really brilliant moments in it.
Yubo AF. I don't know what that means, and if I said something lewd, then I'm sorry. But MVP baseball looks good. Sorry. Someone already beat you to that joke. Sorry about that.
I love that they have to explain what like some of the food is. Onigiri is wonderful, by the way. I don't know if I've had it with pickled plums or not, but it's those are those things that they used to have in Pokemon that they told us were donuts, but they're not. All right, so we got the baby back. Once again, we're going to the bar. I think it's important to note that this is kind of an adventure game and kind of like an RPG, but the things that it's sort of, I think the moment-to-moment stuff is oftentimes very like beat 'em up. So if you really just want a game about beating people up, you might be frustrated by the amount of story and the amount of sort of like, go to here, talk to this person, do this. But it's like, it's sort of JRPG-ish in a lot of ways.
Sure.
I mean, I could go visit her, but I could also go, I don't know if I can go to a bar. What if I got hammered with this baby? I think I might be able to. I might just see if I can get tanked.
The Ruin wants to know, can you drop the baby?
No, you can't. I don't think I can. Can I? Oh, I can't. I can't answer my phone, though. Oh, whoa. Yeah. We'll put this on Tinder.
Oh, yeah, selfies! The greatest innovation of the last 3 years in video games, being able to take video game selfies.
Yeah, I love that he doesn't actually have he's got basically just different scowls. Like, that's his smile.
Yep. Close enough.
There we go. Show that to the babes. What do we got in here? Let me into the bar. I want to do karaoke. It's not fair.
Should like take a picture of yourself with the baby at like a host club.
I need
hashtag parenting.
I need to mess around with this game more and do stuff like that. There's so much stuff that even in like I played through a lot of the sub stories and everything in Kiwami and Zero, but there's still stuff that I'll see screenshots from and I'm like, I don't know what that is. I need to check it out. What's this guy got going on? What do we got? So you do get items that would be really funny to equip cosmetically, like this little underpants thing.
Rokushaku Fundoshi?
Yeah, it's a snug undergarment, but it's 33. It's like, what is that? $3,300, $3,000, something like that. But yeah, you can't actually just put it on and run around the streets, which would be fun though. Let's go to the bar. Watch out, I got a baby here, man. Yeah, I really like. Oh, also worth checking out. Can I do this in the first person?
Slim wants to know
Which
did you guys like better, Dead to Rights or Max Payne? I haven't heard Dead to Rights in a long time in terms of video games, but Max Payne, easily.
I never played Dead to Rights.
It wasn't a great game.
I think yeah. I played one of my sort of weird fond memories. I love this also. Just exploring this world in first person is like really. You really see the detail.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you can just go inside. So pretty much all of these restaurants and stuff, you can just go inside them without like a loading screen. It's pretty much seamless.
Yeah, I think there's like elevators that, okay. Like elevators have a little load time in between cutscenes and stuff. You'll have one, but the actual world itself is like pretty much just. Yeah. All this food. All this.
Edamame potato salad. You're eating all of this?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Eat so much. Yeah. You do need to eat in this game. This is, I think, the first game where you get experience from eating. The experience system's totally overhauled too. I mean, it was different in Zero and in Kiwami. I like how it was just straight up money in Zero, because that was sort of the 80s. It was like, you can buy anything, even experience. All right, let's go to the bar and see what's going on. I played this game when I was on a diet, which sucked, because I'd be like...
all this delicious food that you can't eat.
I just want ramen and beer, and it would be like, oh, no. Try to cut down on carbs and sugars, oh.
I would say also avoid playing Monster Hunter and Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, yeah. Dude, the food... I love how amazing food looks in video games. I think specifically Japanese video games. I think there's much more of like an appreciation for it there. The food in Final Fantasy 15 was just nuts.
Yeah. Nimbus Culture wants to know, are you guys excited about Spider-Man PS4? Oh my god, yes.
Especially after God of War. Just if that's sort of the standard we're getting with Sony games these days, then that's going to be, Spider-Man's going to be nuts.
Yeah, after After God of War, Spider-Man, PS4 is probably my most anticipated game.
ご馳走するって言ったんだ。うちにだって常連さん。
この店は
まあ、
Yeah, give me a drink. I've been carrying on this baby all day.
Baby needs some warm milk. Stirred, not shaken.
Weird.
Hey, if babies can be bosses, babies can also be Bond.
While playing this game, I may or may not have gone out and got Japanese beer and whiskey and also put on a suit to play it at one point.
大丈夫ですか？
Just to get the proper experience. I love that.
As everyone should.
Yeah, yeah. No, the collector's edition actually comes with little glasses.
Shot glasses, right?
They're just like rocks glasses like that.
Uh-huh.
They come with coasters
okay.
and little whiskey stones, which I think is like, it's nice. As cool as like a statue
This
of
guy
Kiryu would
again.
be. So this is actually, I think this is where the game actually starts out. When you start at the very beginning, it's sort of like, it kind of bookends. Yeah, it catches you up to this. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it dips out. How are we doing on time here?
It is 4:18, so we got 40 more minutes.
Okay. So here's like one of the rendered cutscenes.
Yeah.
Which is like noticeably like, holy crap, that looks so good.
Yeah.
Look at his hair.
But what's really impressive is that this is still very close to what the in-game engine looks like, I think.
Yeah, they just have much more sweat.
Lot of pores.
Look at all the dirt on his pants.
Oh!
Huh.
To be continued.
I love this. I just love it. He's like just a good dad. So now we're getting into some
Oh, this guy has a fancy suit.
getting into some kind of more complex story beats here. These guys seem like they're clearly much more big time Yakuza.
It's really interesting learning about kind of the hierarchy of actual Yakuza by playing these games.
It's really confusing, but I mean it's rooted in Japanese feudalism. It's different like lordships and stuff. And I think that the Yakuza movies, the Battle for Honor and Without Humanity or whatever it's called, I think they do that same thing where they'll introduce a character and like put their name and title on the screen, which is like I think it's a cool effect.
Kill Bill does it.
Yeah. I think when I first played through Zero, I was sort of like, I wasn't like fully invested in the cutscenes, so I would just sort of sitting there and be like, all right, well the guys with the suits are gonna sort of like menace each other now. So there's a lot of very dramatic cutscenes like this. So
yeah,
they can get a little bit tedious, but.
じゃが広瀬一家からうちへの上納金が遅れとるんはどういうわけじゃマスゼの親分わし
Yeah, and it gets tricky to kind of keep track of who's on which team and who's doing what their relationships are.
I imagine, especially if you haven't played the other Yakuza games.
Yeah, I think this one is pretty good about introducing everything. Like there's sort of been there's been more setup like before we got to this part, and there is also there'll be parts where it introduces something that it will explain later. Yeah, it's just like it's a big soap opera though.
So how many hours in would you say this is in the actual game?
That's tough because I don't know if it keeps track of cutscenes or not. When I played through the entire game, it was I want to say it was between 20 and 30 hours, but there's no way that was counting cutscenes. I think this is like chapter 4 or something, so maybe like a third or a quarter of the way. This isn't a lot of gameplay. This is like maybe like 5 hours of the story. I don't know.
客としてこの店に来られんようになる。何しとるんじゃなぐも。踊れ。わしらに恥かかせるんか。おう。マッソイの親分。わしらにはわしらのやり方がありますけ。
So there's a lot of double crossing and I don't know. Somebody you think is bad, maybe they're good. Somebody who's good, maybe they're bad.
I feel like there's
Very
also
dramatic.
there's also a lot of people taking bullets for other people.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's very ridiculous.
I remember watching a recap of Yakuza 1 through 4 and just like counting the number of times
Yep.
like there's gangster trope.
There's an awesome article floating around that I forget who put it up, but some outlet made a bunch of actual actual Yakuza guys play through 3 and got their feedback on it, and it's like the funniest thing because they're like, it describes them, or like they're all just like cracking jokes about what the guys are wearing. And it was like, oh, like look what Kiryu's wearing. He looks like a gigolo. Like nobody would ever wear that. That's ridiculous. He looked nonsense. And it was like sort of like editor's note. 2 of these guys are wearing like beautifully, like wonderfully tailored, like bespoke suits, and the other one is in sweatpants and a sweatshirt. And it's sort of like, okay, so like how do Yakuza guys dress? Like, sounds like they kind of dress like they do in these games, maybe a little bit toned down, but oh.
Yeah, man. I really wish that things were different when it comes to this series in the U.S. because I think that this series should be a lot more popular than it is.
I think it's catching in. I think the fact that you can play at this point 3 games on a PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
I mean, it also got the sort of bum end of the stick because the PS3 wasn't the leader last console generation.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think Yakuza 0 definitely helped a lot because that gave a firm entry point for people to get into the series without having to worry about not knowing what's going on, because it is a very story-heavy game, obviously.
Yeah. We're about to get into like a real big mob fight. That's one thing this game does that is noticeably like really impressive is the amount of people on screen at once.
Yeah.
It's like fighting like just a bunch of like Assassin's Creed NPCs. Like there's just like a swarm of them.
The Ruin says, I wonder if Yakuza play this game. I feel like I've read something about an actual Yakuza playing the Yakuza games.
Yeah, I mean, I was just mentioning an article about that. That's really cool. But like, yeah, it's a write-up somewhere. You can Google it. It's search like Yakuza actually playing Yakuza or whatever. But as far as like anybody, doing Let's Plays or anything, I think they kind of keep a lower profile than that. And I think it's still sort of like one of those things where you're like, you're not supposed to really admit that you do that.
Yeah.
It's sort of illegal. I don't know.
Zero had bowling, but this game doesn't. Oh man.
This game has, I think, batting cages, and it's got karaoke, and it's got like bar conversations, it's got spearfishing, kitty collecting.
I don't remember spearfishing being in previous games.
No, that one's new.
Yeah.
This one's got
gym workouts.
weightlifting, yeah. Alright. Okay. Come on, let me go. Come on. There's something really funny to me about those shots of NPCs like running away. Like when they come out and they're like, hey, here's a really important thing, and then they look around and they just like awkwardly sort of shuffle off.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, you guys wanna fight?
What's up, hoodlums? Threatening men.
There we go.
Oof.
One hit. One hit.
We should once again make a note that this is a end game, new game plus style save, right?
Yeah, I'm like fully maxed out here. So, well, almost fully, not entirely. But did I find the treasures in here yet? I think I did. I already opened that. There are like a bunch of like funny collectibles scattered around the game. There are also almost always dudes on this bridge, and it's great because there's an option to throw one of them off the bridge.
Oh man!
Yes.
I want to see that.
It.
Oh,
hey,
guys, come over here.
Hey, you guys.
There's something really cool on this bridge.
All right, let's go. Come on.
Oh, they fell for it.
I'm gonna get him. Right. No.
Come on.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Alright.
See you in Tokyo.
Yeah, I love that he just has to leave. That's it. Yep.
Nice.
I love those freeze frame endings. There's always like an occasional like really awkward one where it doesn't look cool. It just looks very odd.
Threatening men are the worst type of men.
I kind of want to get a shirt that just says menacing man on it, like, but I don't know if that would be like a weird, like I don't know if that would be awkward or not. I don't know.
It would probably be pretty awkward. Not gonna lie. Now that's how Yakuza get it done.
Kiryu-san. お前はそうです。トラフルです。こんなとこで会うなんて奇遇ですね。
Who's this guy?
私の実家があるんですよ。
This
I think
this is side story
so
music.
yeah. So here's the thing: is this dude? This is hilarious. So
Troubler Network.
you get an app on your phone called Troubler, which takes the place of like random events, and you'll get random texts where they're like, "Hey, I got diarrhea. I need medicine. Come help me." And you're like, Kiryu's like, "Oh, I'll be right there." And it's really funny. But this is just this random dude who's like, here's some silliness. We could go and do the fight on the mountain, or I don't know. I feel like maybe we should check out.
I think we should probably do some silly stuff.
Let's do some silliness. I mean, obviously, there's pressing matters here. Look at this soccer ball.
So it's like Destiny.
All right, give me a second. It's gonna probably pop in with one. Oh, there's also this little nice area.
La Pente.
I think we can do. Oh, they're closed. They're not open yet. This guy might be a Japanese professional wrestler. They got a bunch of them in this. Yeah, they got a bunch of like pro wrestlers in the game. Not like
I would probably know who he is if. Let me see.
I have a couple glasses of wine. I like to have a little red, little white. See what happens. It's gonna be great. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. So you get little achievements for combining certain dishes. I just got aspiring sommelier. Ah, yeah. Yeah. So hey, you're looking this up. The clan.
Oh
creator.
yeah, so they're part of the clan creator stuff. But yeah, you got Tanahashi, Okada, Naito. That's awesome. Big professional wrestling fan, by the way. I am.
I would never have guessed. So yeah, we gotta wait for the sort of troubler thing to kick in. I will say Onomichi is like it's sort of they market it as being like a sleepy little town, but really there's like less stuff to do in it than there is in Kamurocho, which is kind of a bummer. But I don't know. It also it kind of fits the narrative.
We got a request from Behave on the IGN chat to hit the batting cage.
I think the batting cages are in the city.
In Kamurocho?
I don't know if we can do batting cages here. I wonder if I can go to Kamurocho right now. Actually, let me see if I can hop in a cab. I guess I can't leave to go to. I don't think I can go back to Tokyo right now, which is kind of annoying. I think Zero had a little bit of a thing like that, but for the most part, it was better about letting you switch between people.
We had a question. Oh, so Specky Blind on YouTube wants to know, in Yakuza 0, you learn skills from various masters. How do you learn skills in this game?
So you get, what is it? I think it doesn't have that whole system, but you do have like a skills. Again, they kind of just retool these every couple games. Yeah, so stats. You boost all of your different stuff here, and then you learn skills by picking from like a menu, basically. So I've already learned a lot of skills. It takes a second to get used to. But you basically have to toggle over to what you can buy. You get experience by eating. You get experience by doing, I think, literally everything. But the different categories are like strength, speed, I don't know, heat action, intelligence, and charm. And they, different things cost different amounts. Let's see. XP for that. I don't know how I've beaten this game. We're playing through it again, and I don't have enough XP to buy certain things, but here we are. Yeah.
Grade A, does this game have English voiceovers if possible? No, they do not have English voiceovers. Soulless Ghost wants a shout out. Shout out.
There you go.
What's up?
Sorry, you don't have a soul, you ghost.
Kayvon Layton wants to know, is it worth getting if you have never played a Yakuza game, which we've kind of talked about, but to repeat, yeah, do you think that it's worth getting?
I think it's a really good game. I think it might not be the best first Yakuza game. I would again recommend Kiwami. Yeah, which is again, it's basically Kiwami is a remake of the original Yakuza 1 on modern systems. It's not like a remaster. Like they actually rebuilt it in a whole new engine and everything. And the next game that comes out after this one will be the immediate sequel to that.
Kiwami 2.
So yeah, so it's going to be that's a remake of Yakuza 2. So so here's the Troubler app. Basically, somebody posted on like Facebook pretty much being like, heard about grave robbers. So let's go check that out. You got to check our map here. And there it is right there. You can set waypoints now. So we're going to go scamper off to the graveyard and see who's causing a ruckus over there.
Who's causing all that ruckus?
What's going on over here? And yeah, this is, I mean, fittingly for what's probably a feudal era, city map. This is a little bit messy to figure out. Oh, hey, what's up?
The dead don't deserve that.
So we got a separated child there. We'll go check that one out in a second. Excuse me, gentlemen.
Oh, they're suspicious.
If you want to, so basically we got to play hide and seek with these guys.
I was gonna say, is this hide and seek?
Okay, one of them went over here.
So what? I assume a trouble mission is like a side mission that has a time limit on it.
Yeah. Is this... Am I gonna kick his ass? Hell yeah.
Shady man.
What?
What happened? Did you just intimidate him?
What was? I guess so. Yeah, I don't know what that was. No smoking. Yeah, let's see. One of the guys over here. Yeah, these are a lot like, I don't know, you run into like people in trouble in the previous games who would be sort of in the street, you would just intervene. In this case, somebody basically sends you a phone notification about it, which is really funny.
Oh!
Yeah, take that, grave robber.
Wesker 901 says, damn, wanted to see what's inside the Club Sega. I don't know if we'll be able to get to Tokyo.
We might not be able to.
But we can talk about what games are in Club Sega.
We could jump into. I mean, we could, I guess, play
you
around.
You want to pull up a save?
Yeah. Let me see if I can do that. Oh. There we go.
So we got about 26 minutes left here on this stream.
Okay. Let's. All right. So I beat up the grave robbers. I don't know why we all went back to the graveyard. And there's like a funny little thing that'll happen after you complete this little side mission task thing. So yeah, basically, I love that like Kiryu just sort of. Also, really funny thing is I think so I can start that one. That one's actually kind of annoying. I gotta go find this lost kid. Pull out my phone. No.
And these are not really tied to like the actual side stories. This is kind of just a separate mini side quest thing that you can do.
What I love is you can also you can send like emoji. You can send stickers, and occasionally like a character will message you, and you'll send like an angry emoji, and they're like, "What's wrong with you? Like, why would you send me that?" And I'm like, "That's terrible." Yeah, and I feel like these are systems they're probably gonna use in like I don't know later games maybe. Like I think they're gonna come back to them.
Yeah.
But it does feel like there's a lot of systems in this game that maybe don't really get super fleshed out, which is sort of I don't know, sort of a bummer. But it's still like a really fun game. All right, let's see.
Oh man. Tell you, Max, I miss those soft chairs that we had.
Yeah, these are kind of some spine wreckers here. All right, save that game. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out.
It's a good time. I really want to dive back into this game. I played the demo and. Just once again, what a nightmare of a situation Sega had. They released a demo that was only supposed to go up to Chapter 2, or the end of Chapter 1, I think actually. And then they found out, I'm sure with fear in their eyes that the whole game was available for
and
play.
that was also after they'd already delayed the game, I think in hopes that the demo would get more people on board.
Yeah.
Which is sort of kind of a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is... Here, we can go explore a little bit. Let's see. Yes, no.
But yeah, so I played the demo, and am really excited to jump back into it, but oh god, God of War, it's just the timing.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. Also, I feel like they had like a much better release window, and
Yeah,
they were like, let's push it to compete with one of the biggest PS4 games possible, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on with that. But
Yeah, it's a real weird decision. I think they wanted to get away from all of the games that were coming out in March, but they ended up releasing the very same week pretty much as one of the biggest games of the year.
yeah, it's which is rough. I don't think that was a great idea. All right, so here we are. We are in Kamurocho, which is sort of the big Tokyo area. What do we got here? Here's the internet cafe. We probably shouldn't go there because there's half-naked women who we can chat with on the computer.
Let's not get in trouble.
It's a different one.
Club Sega.
Club Sega.
You want to check out Club Sega?
Oh, darts is really good. Which was weird because I actually, let's head to Club Sega, but I was at a bar last weekend and I actually wound up playing darts for the first time in ages, and I was like, I haven't really done this outside of Yakuza, like, which is weird that I would get exposed to a real thing because of a video game. So here we go. Uh-oh. Oh, here's a side quest.
That's the drone.
The drone, yeah. So this drone is being a menace. Let's pursue this drone because this is one of the side quests I couldn't do because the drone escaped from me. Where the?
In your opinion, how should people play the Yakuza series? So, I mean, ideally, I would imagine you'd want to play them in chronological order. So 0, Kiwami, when Kiwami 2 comes out, and then Yakuza 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I think you can. I went 0 Kiwami 6, and I'm eager to go back and kind of fill in the gaps there. I think that I don't know if you figure out the basics, it's you kind of pick it up as you go along, you know. And there is sort of recap stuff, and I feel like that there are like a lot of twists and turns in the story, but it's never like spoilery revelations. It always feels more like how it's presented that makes it worthwhile. And of course the experiences. Where does this thing go?
Get out of the
Go
way.
up here? There it is. Okay. Come on, go.
Who keeps putting these walls here?
It sucks because the sprint and the right stick. Oh, there it is. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get the drone. Oh, I found you. Okay. I'm actually really excited to finish this. He's gonna fight the drone.
助けてください。なんだお前は。よかった。やっとついに来てくれた。お願いです。助けてください。待て。
So if you feel like you don't know what's going on, that's okay. The bulk of this quest was that a drone was hassling people and that somebody should chase it down because it was a danger. So I think he was using a drone to get help, but Kiryu asking the tough questions. Look at that jacket.
We're just some friends looking to hang out, grab some pizza, drink some beers.
ドローンを飛ばして街中をビデオに撮れっておい困るなそんな言い方しちゃ誤解されちゃうじゃないかこいつの怯え方にだから仇のガキを食い物にするお説教どう
He's always teaching valuable lessons about what Yakuza should and shouldn't do. And we'll beat these guys up and then we can go to Club Sega.
Alright. Walking upstairs is a side mission. Come on, it's about the context.
We gotta chase down the drone first.
You gotta chase down the drone. The drone was obviously employed by this guy to get some help. He's in trouble.
The sub-stories in Yakuza remind me a lot of the funnier side quests in The Witcher.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they're weird, stupid little errands, but there's always they're always like kind of like a fun twist to them.
ドローンの調子が悪くて飛んでたまたま通りかかったこの人たちにそれは単に
So he was getting bullied by Yakuza because he crashed his drone into them.
Yeah.
怪我したならなんとか親に頼んでこの人たちはそれからずっとここにわからないな多分この町の情報
So they're trying to spy on people. I love that there's all these like nonsense goons who just do like silly stuff.
上から見られているともなるほどな
There's a part in this where you basically get like somebody basically tries to catfish you, but then you're like, that seems odd, and then you just go and beat them up. And like,
僕なんとか逃げ出した
What's the most ridiculous side quest that you've seen so far in this game?
in 6,
Yeah.
待ってたんですけど
I mean the cat cafe sub story
Yeah.
is like it's a constant thing where you have to like you'll hear like a meow like somewhere, and he'll be like
思ってかけたんですよ
Neko? And then you like kind of sniff and like you hope you have like cat food on you because you don't want to like. So I would like stock up on cat food, and I would just like give these cats food, and then there's a bar that says cat friendship, and gradually you're trying to catch all these cats. So it's like this. It's totally like a stupid little element, but the idea this dude's going around beating the crap out of people, but also adopting stray cats is like really funny to me. There's one that involves like Siri, like an AI.
Oh yeah.
But it's like an evil
Yeah.
Siri.
I got to play a little bit of that one.
It's really funny. It's got like a really odd resolution. All right, so we did that. I have a great idea. Fight the stairs some more. Check this out.
Oh no! What? 0 fall damage.
Hell yeah. I think if you do that, you get a trophy that's just like, that was a terrible idea or something.
Alright, so we're going to Club Sega?
We're going back to Club Sega. We're going to see what's in there. See what kind of fun games are around. Maybe we'll meet a kitty on the way. Who knows? Oh, my Troubler app is blowing up. The Couple Hunters. Yeah, so there's like kind of random. These are, you know, kind of like sort of phoned in missions sometimes where it's like chase the guy, beat the dude up or whatever. But I don't know. They're kind of funny. They'll get like the messages that people write after you do Troubler missions are like really funny. Like they feel like stuff that people would actually write on social media, but they're like, I don't know, it's just odd that there would be like an app for having a Yakuza guy go and beat the crap out of somebody for you.
Yeah.
In the name of justice. All right, there's Club Sega. We don't have to deal with that drone anymore.
I think it's interesting to note also, we talked about how...
Oh my god, see, there's always like little side quests and stuff.
But, and if you're just watching this, you might think, oh, that's annoying. Every couple steps I get interrupted by a side mission. These are like half the enjoyment of playing these games, I think.
Also, you don't have to immediately do them. It's like kind of, you know, your choice or whatever. But I find that just when you think there's nothing to do, more of them start popping up. So it's kind of like this. It's. I think it keeps track of like exactly how. Like we were heading to Club Sega, we're like, yeah, we'll check that out, whatever. That's, you know, a thing you maybe do when you're bored. But then on the way, meet this guy. So. He's a vlogger.
Pretty dank, huh?
Yep. There's some very 2018
like, comment, and subscribe.
Yep. Oh yes.
That brings back memories.
I love how just dismissive Kiryu is of just like modern stuff. He's just like, what the hell's an app?
Hey guys, thanks for watching IGN Plays Live. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah. All right, so here we are. What do we got in here?
All right, so we got
Outrun?
some Outrun.
I think it's got all the ones that were in. Changed my mind. We got Outrun. We got Space Harrier. Yeah, I think it's got all the ones from Zero. Yeah, there's more Space Harrier. Here, let's actually.
Do they have Virtua Fighter here?
I think it's it might be in
A different one?
darts. I might have to go to a different location, maybe? What's in here? Can I go through here? I guess I can go through here. It's a little bit awkward, but sure. Yeah, I'm just going to use
Kicking
this.
stuff around?
Yeah, sure, why not? Maybe the door's blocking it? I don't know. Maybe that's not the thing I'm going to do. All right.
Fantasy Zone.
Fantasy Zone, okay. There's this sad guy.
There's a poster for Virtua Fighter. He's going to take a picture of the sad guy? Hey, what's up? It's Kiryu, looking real happy with this.
Snap a little creep shot there. No. There's also, I think, Mahjong, and there's...
There's Shogi.
Yeah, the darts is like really overhauled, I think. Is there a different Club Sega we should go to? Oh, Super Hang-On. Okay, get out of here. Get out of the way. Come on. So
yeah, that's the arcade.
that's one arcade. There's Darts Live. Here's the batting center. We could go to the batting cages.
Let's play some batting.
Want to do batting?
Let's play some batting center.
I love batting center. We could go to Sexy Internet Cafe. Ooh. There's a different. Here, let's do this Club Sega. See if this one's better.
Have you seen? There is one that has Virtua Fighter though. You've seen?
I believe so. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know it's in the game. I just haven't. I think there's different arcade cabinets at different. What do you want? Get away from me, man! I'm running.
Oh, so you can actually escape from fights once they start?
Which I think was a skill that you had to. Though we should actually now we mention it.
Ah.
Are they running after me? You guys coming?
Yep, they're coming.
They're coming.
Adachi.
Come on, dude. See if they'll chase me. If we can lead them into a store, that's really fun.
Oh yeah.
No. This one.
Gotta find a convenience store.
Convenience store, like if you go in there and just start messing stuff up. Yep, you can go in here. Come on. Come on.
It's like, I'm not going in there. I see what you're trying to do.
It starts messing up the... There's something really satisfying about just like scaring the
Oof.
People behind the counter. Yeah, like breaking the... you can see that frame rate slow down, because like that's...
The game does not like all that glass.
Yeah, but that look... I feel like that's like a noticeable step up from the last game.
Yeah.
So just have this really interacting with the world and everything. Yeah, it's a very realistic game, as you can see.
I like how they all have names now.
I think they had that in the other ones.
Did they?
Yeah, which is like kind of insane. Totally... Alright.
Oof.
Yeah.
Sleep
So
for a while.
If we see a 7-Eleven or whatever, a Papa, we can pop into it. Okay, here's the other Club Sega, which I think is this the Virtua Fighter one. Here's Puyo Puyo.
Puyo Puyo and
there
Virtua
it is.
Fighter.
Yeah,
All
Virtua Fighter. You
right.
can just play.
Da-na-na, da-na-na. I'll let my fist do the talking. So when you play this, is it like an actual emulated version? Like, oh, it looks like it. Like if
You're the expert. I think it's the full game. It's just
I don't have another controller. I was wondering if you could play 2-player on it.
You can, yeah. You can also access it from the menu, so you don't have to just go into
really cool.
the
Final showdown.
So yeah, you're it's kind of nuts that there's like a whole friggin' game in here. When did Final Showdown come down?
Oh, it's been a while since the last Virtua Fighter game.
Was that last gen or was it earlier?
I feel like it was definitely. I think it was last gen.
Okay.
But like early.
Okay. Yeah, but it's
let's
just
find out.
Put it in there, so
let's find out.
Controls.
Sorry that I have the loudest keyboard ever right here.
What? I don't know what just. Oh man, they got all the different costumes and everything.
Oh wow, this was 2012.
So yeah, that's kind of incredible that we got a 2012 game in a 2018 game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And I'm talking the actual base level Virtua Fighter 5 though was 2006.
Okay. All right.
Long time ago.
Yeah. But I mean, that's just, I don't know, that's sort of ridiculous. You can just jump in there. And then the Puyo Puyo in here is, I think, the same one that came out on Switch recently, which is like, obviously it's not super graphically intensive, but...
Is this a remastered Virtua Fighter?
I mean, it's running within Yakuza. I don't think they remastered it, but...
It looks really good. Man, that voiceover, though, does not sound good.
No.
It sounds like someone did not properly set his levels.
Ugh.
I feel like we're due for another Virtua Fighter game.
Really?
It's time.
Does Sega have any other fighting game properties? I'm trying to think.
No, I don't think so. Alright, you out of here?
Yeah, let's exit that. So yeah, you get experience for playing other video games within this video game, which I'm trying to think of other places that has that, but...
Cyborg Man says, not gonna lie, Mitch, this game is fantastic. Are you talking about Virtua Fighter, or are you talking about Yakuza 6? Daigo Dojima. And this is cool, too. Just like,
Yeah.
In all the loading screens, you're able to kind of just, learn some context about some of the other characters.
Yep.
That maybe you either don't know about because you didn't really play the other games, or you just need a refresher.
Yeah, I don't know Daigo, because I think he showed up in 4, maybe?
I think he was introduced in 4.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the one I was thinking. Oh, man. Sega Addict AM2 says Eternal Champions. It's
yes. Oh, yeah. God, I love Eternal Champions.
That was amazing. It was just, we posed a question, and the perfect person to answer it showed up in the Twitch chat.
Yes. Oh, let's, is that, oh, we can't go in here. Okay, there's too much stuff in there, I think.
People are flipping out about Virtua Fighter being in this game.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome.
And it's also really cool because, I asked before what year this game takes place in, and it's present day. And that's one of the really cool things about this game, because other Yakuza games kind of took place in, slightly, the past.
This is pretty close.
Yeah. And, arcades obviously didn't have, games like Virtua Fighter or like the new Virtua Fighter back in the day.
Yeah, I think it was cool that, it's also, it made a ton of sense to have like Outrun and Space Harrier in a game set in the 80s, but it's also kind of cool that one of the arcades has older games, whereas one of them has new ones, Yeah. Like that's sort of like, oh, you want to go to the crappy old arcade? Or, oh, the menacing men have returned. I really want to sneak into a convenience store and see if I can wreck some shelves and stuff, because it's really cool to see that happen. What do we got here? There's like no shortage of dudes here. You can also just like pound liquor and they'll come fight you more often.
Is that true? I didn't know that.
That's true, yeah. It gets
That's awesome.
I think your strength gets higher, but you also just get in more fights randomly. Which is, sort of, I guess that's a sort of a fair assessment of...
Yeah?
Although I failed that mission of defeating the enemy. So Wild Jackson is a chicken wing chain. These aren't real chains. There is a ton of product placement in these games, though, which is kind of funny. Like there's a lot of real liquor brands.
Yeah.
What do these guys want? Peekaboo.
Is that a convenience store over there?
I think it is.
Oh man.
All right, I'm dying to check this out. This one? No.
Oh no.
Just run away from them. I think that was something else. Oh, that's my gym right there. I think there's a popo around here somewhere. Will they follow me is the question.
For those that are curious why we're just running away from fights, we're trying to trigger this really cool heat action
I want to kill someone with a microwave. Put it that way.
Just wreck people inside a convenience store.
I've also been playing other video games since I played this one, so I don't remember where everything is.
There we go. Oh, there we go. This is looking promising.
This is going to be good. Okay.
Popo. There it is. Oh my god.
Game of the year.
Game of the year, right here. You heard it here.
Will the other guys come and get me? Come on. Hey guys, I just want to like, oh yeah, here we go. Come on. Check us out.
You gonna run through the shelves? Oh!
Do it again. Apparently that's a big, powerful microwave.
Stop making me murder people!
Yeah, I love that, in the narrative, he doesn't kill people. That's not murder. Yep. I don't know what you call it, but... Yep, take that, Pocky.
A lot of people are wondering what's new about Yakuza 6, and really all you need to know is this.
Yeah, destructible Pocky and microwave fatalities. It's a good game. Good game. I think in Zero you could actually pick up all the magazines. You could like read Famitsu.
Yeah, you can like look at. You can definitely look at the covers.
Oh yeah. Ooh, fantastic romance. What could that be? And the batting cages are over here. That little blue thing means on the mini map means that there's some kind of a quest thing going on here. Some kind of sub story. I'm not sure what. Oh, it's this guy again. Oh God. So you encounter a YouTuber. I love this. I haven't seen any of this before. This is just one of those things that triggered while we were doing this Let's Play.
Do you think you would subscribe to this guy's channel?
I don't think I would. I think I hate him. I kind of...
めてみたいと思い。
What is this guy's problem?
さあさあ、来い来い来い。
Oh!
何やってんだあいつ。
I love this game.
いや、これはなかなかのものですよ。これはね。
Is he just trying to get hit with balls? YouTubers react to blunt force trauma.
Yakuza 6 with the biting social commentary.
I love how it's got like serious hard-boiled like Japanese crime trauma, but it also has vloggers getting hit in the nads with baseballs. Who do I fight? This is gonna be... What's gonna happen now? Yeah, so this is the kind of thing you'll encounter in Yakuza. You never really know what's gonna happen. I love these games. I think they're wonderful. I really just want more people to play them. I'm so glad you play them. They're just I hope you get a chance to sink your teeth into this one because it's definitely like it's a really fun story. It's like it's much more of a singular story. Like it's kind of the main quest is I think more of a focus than you might see in the other ones, which had a lot more sub stories. But again, there's still plenty of weird sub stories like this.
Yeah, fully planning on it. Yakuza 0 really opened my eyes to this series, as I hope it did for a lot of people. And yeah, I want this series to be successful, probably more than like any other game series out there right now, just because I think it's a really great story-driven single-player game series that is going under the radar of a lot of people, and there's just so much fun stuff in it.
I keep feeling like it's gonna click. I think enough people played Zero and Kiwami that they're like, hey, everybody needs to play these things, please.
Got a double. So what's what do you have to do here?
So I've got to move that little yellow ball into the circle. Oh, but it moves, which is pretty tricky, actually. I think this is different from...
I love how this is how we're wrapping the
Fork ball, yeah. So it's a game where you can beat people up in a baseball field. You can also just play baseball in the batting cages.
Yep. We're gonna see if... Oh man! Oh!
There we go. Yes.
I feel like there's no better way than to wrap. We got what three more?
Pretty good.
Three more balls. Almost there.
Can we do it? Oh, that was close.
Kiryu, yeah, the minigames can't swing down. You gotta swing up.
The minigames are really fun in this. Yep. Sweet.
2 home runs. And.
Oof,
all right. Well, you know what? 2 home runs, not bad.
Hey.
I think it's about time to wrap this up. Oh man,
yeah.
Talon just got here. We're wrapping up the stream.
Yeah, well, so that's Yakuza 6, A Song of Life. It's out now on PlayStation 4. You can get it on PSN or physical, whatever. Yeah, this in kind of conjunction with God of War, it's one of the 2 very good games that came out this week that involve raising children and fatherhood. Mitchell, thank you so much for hanging out and playing Yakuza with me. Everybody out there, please. Play Yakuza.
Play Yakuza.
Play these games.
Just get it.
Kazuma Kiryu needs your help. He needs you to be his friend.
There's a baby.
He's trapped in these games, and he needs your love through the screen
Don't
of the
forget
TV. And also the baby, yes. Anyway, we do have a review up for Yakuza 6 on IGN. I think Tristan Ogilvy, I don't know how to say his last name.
Anyway, I'm not even going to try.
He gave it a 7.5 out of 10, which isn't fabulous, but I think it's sitting at like an 80-something on Metacritic. So, definitely a fun game, and the Yakuza series is really good. Go check it out. We love it. We got more IGN Plays Live coming up later this week, I imagine.
Yes.
In the afternoons, more games to come.
Yes,
and,
Thursday for sure.
Yeah, so subscribe and stay updated, and we'll see you guys around. Have a lovely evening.
Bye-bye.